I'm Death's Arrow, and this is a WoT I'm Thinking Debrief for the week of April 28th, 2013. It almost goes without saying at this point that Tier 5 heat derps are overpowered. The weapon I'm speaking of is the 105mm howitzer that can be fitted on some Tier 5 tanks like the M4 Sherman, Panzer IV, and Stug 3. When firing premium heat rounds, these guns are capable of massive destruction, including one-shotting some Tier 5 tanks and pretty much everything below that. This destructive capability, though, does come with a price, as the gun's accuracy isn't all that great. Static accuracy, though, isn't particularly terrible. If you have time to aim and your target isn't moving, you stand a good chance of putting rounds on target. 500-meter shots with 100% crew will hit a little more than half the time, which isn't that terrible. What is terrible is trying to hit targets that are moving. It's very difficult to lead a target since the shell velocity is so low. Shooting on the move is a complete disaster unless you're in close quarters combat. While some consider derping to be easy, it does take some skill to be effective, particularly when playing solo. While I am an aggressive player, I tend to play a bit more cautiously with these guns. I'm usually pretty careful with target selection and go after enemies that are either sitting still or distracted. A well-executed surprise flanking maneuver can be very effective. My platform of choice for derping, as shown in a previous debrief, is the M4 Sherman. It has decent speed and mobility, along with really good gun depression. It can take a few hits from most enemies it faces, and while it doesn't bounce a lot of shots, it bounces enough to allow you to slug with enemies when needed. One of the things that I find a bit odd is how Wargaming has handled the issue of Tier 5 premium heat rounds. It's not like they didn't exist prior to making premium rounds available for credits. While the player base contends that premium round usage is rampant, Wargaming has stated that usage is only up marginally, claiming a 1-round increase per match. This begs the question, was premium round usage more rampant before the premium round for credit change than many have thought, or is the average player not using that much more premium ammo than they were before? What's even stranger is how Wargaming regularly runs premium ammo sales and mid-tier credit bonuses. It's almost like they want us to abuse the system to get more players playing mid-tiers. One thing that's not well known about the M4 Sherman is that even without any specials running on a premium account, a small profit of 1,000 to 5,000 credits can be earned with a good performance running strictly premium rounds. Add a special into the mix and there's no reason not to grind credits. Supposedly mid-tier heat rounds are due for a nerf in the upcoming 8.6 patch. We'll see what happens. And now it's time for the match of the week! The replay that I'll be looking at is from May 4th on Fjords in my M4 Sherman. As noted on the loading screen, this is a standard battle. Reviewing tank composition for this battle reveals the following. This is a Tier 5 battle with 6 Tier 5s, 3 Tier 4s, and 4 Tier 3s on each team. Both teams also have 2 Tier 4 arty pieces. I don't recognize anyone in this match. As the battle loads in, my plan is to go up the hill and head over to E5. The Sherman isn't the fastest tank in this match, but none of the enemy's heavy hitters will beat me there. This location has a few advantages: sniping opportunities at the tanks heading south, shots at the enemies trying to push through this area, and it's the middle of the map so I can flex to anywhere on the map I need to depending on what the enemy does. As the match begins, I start to head north immediately. Going to waste no time to get to my position in the middle of the map. The Sherman doesn't have the best climbing ability, so it's going to take me a little while to work my way up. Trying to avoid destroying things as much as possible, not that it really matters. Got a Panzer 1C in front of me. They'll spot any targets that come to the area before I can get there. Certainly some faster tanks on the enemy team. I have a T-28 spotted directly in front of me on the hill, and to my left a BT-7. There is one danger in this location. Once the enemy climbs the hill via the northern route, they'll have shots into this area, which will essentially pin me down if I'm not careful. Unless the enemy has a number of tanks around the corner at E6, I don't plan to stay here that long. Got an M3 Stuart, lining him up, and I knock him down. After poking around the corner, it seems the enemy is clustered at the edge of town at F6 and probably hasn't sent any other tanks up this way. I'm going to push in and put fire on them, which likely will be a surprise from this direction. The Sherman's gun depression will come in handy here, as I'll be able to take advantage of the terrain. I knock down their T-28. Line up the T-46, knock him down. Enemies that don't pay attention to the battle going on around them are easy targets for the 105mm gun. Over-focusing on a single target in sniper mode while you're reloading leaves you vulnerable to flanking. Got an advantage here with the higher terrain. Trying to line up the Panzer III, but he backs out before I can line him up. Comes back and I knock him down. Backing up while I reload. Got this Stug here still. KV-1 is trying to run up the middle to line him up. And I miss. Get tracked by the SU-5. It looks like I've got some arty attention. I get a critical hit on the KV-1. Take another arty hit. I notice that their T-1 Heavy is distracted, and I get a broadside hit on him. He's starting to turn his gun towards me, lining him up for the kill shot. I blast him in the back, knock him down. Stug hits me. Trying to line him up. He hits me again. I get a hit on him. He's down to 49 hit points. Backing up. I am one-shottable at this point, so I need to be careful. Stug comes up the hill. I get a hit. I bounce on that shot. The Stug had a pretty extreme angle on his armor. Charge up on him and I knock him down. With the middle clear and the enemy almost defeated, I begin to push towards the enemy's cap. Even with low health, I'll keep hunting. Panzer IV at G9, and then arty somewhere. We've got a big lead right now. This match is pretty much in hand. I have a big advantage here on this Panzer IV as he doesn't have much gun depression and will have to expose his entire tank to fire at me. I get a critical hit. Trying to line him up again. I get the broadside hit and I knock him down. Normally in this situation I would be likely to cap rather than continue to hunt. But I notice where I am in the kill count, so I'm going to continue to push, try to get that 8th kill. Expecting that arty's down here somewhere, either on the peninsula or in the back corner. The M7 Priest is way on the end of the peninsula, almost in the water. Take my time, line him up, knock him down for the win. Looking at the after action screens, I destroyed 8 tanks for a Radley Walters medal and a top gun, damaged 1 more, hit 13 of 14 shots, did 2,358 points of damage, and earned 1,935 experience. I also earned a sniper medal. It should also be noted that I earned 21,174 credits even after firing all premium rounds, partially thanks to the half-price premium sale that was run over this past weekend. Overall, I made the decision right off the bat that I needed to control the middle of the map. This paid off for me as I was able to flank the enemy's main line of attack. The biggest mistake the enemy made was not covering the middle of the map. They ended up getting distracted and over-focused on the center route to our backfield, which allowed me to pick them apart from behind. I had little trouble ripping the enemy apart with the 105mm gun using heat shells. It's pretty clear how overpowered this gun is with premium rounds. I counted for almost half the damage done by my team and did 2/3 of the total enemy damage output. Surprisingly, this is my first Radley Walters medal. I've had a number of big kill matches in the past, but that was before the introduction of the award. My playstyle has changed quite a bit in the last year and a half, and I'm generally not as focused on getting kill shots as I am doing as much damage to the enemy team as possible. Kills will happen, but I don't specifically work to get kills. If they happen, they happen, and if not, it's not a big deal. I appreciate that Wargaming changed the after-action screens in the 8.5 patch to show every player's damage done rather than the remaining health, as this information is actually useful for seeing who provided real contributions to the team. Next, they need to add spotting damage. Thank you for watching this WoT I'm Thinking Debrief. Before signing out, I wanted to mention that as I creep closer to 1,000 subscriptions, that I'm planning to do a little something for you, the loyal subscriber. Possibly a raffle for a couple of World of Tanks gift packs. Stay tuned for details.